Good morning, and it's Saturday morning, and I've been working on a lot of projects. I just didn't get them out this week, and like I say, I wasn't going to rush anything in order to, just for the sake of the video. You know, I will serve no wine before it's time, so to speak. So I figured today would be as good a day as any to start with part 2 of HODGIE'S Lost Totes of TV treasures and movie treasures. So I got a lot to get through, so let's get started with some of my miscellaneous stuff. A lot of this stuff I forgot I had. Johnny Lightning back in the day was a big into this. I got myself a Nash Bridges. Let me see if I can raise this up a little bit so you can see what I'm talking about, so you can see the blister packs. Hollywood on Wheels. Nash Bridges 71 gilt-fended Cuda convertible that he drove on the show. And it was a good show. It wasn't as good as Miami Vice, but still cool. And these Hollywood on Wheels were one of my favorite series back in the day because they were putting out some good stuff, and they weren't bad. Let me see what era. Right around 1999. So that's the first one I have. And then back in 09, they issued the Batmobile, the original one, correctly, might I add you, not this stupid shit that they're doing with it today, but correctly. So not a big Batman fan at all, but this is a cool old George Barris custom, so that's where it fell into me. You know, George Barris was a great creator of TV and movie cars and custom cars. So, and then we got in here to the Frightening Lightnings. And this is early Johnny Lightning when Praying Mantis just started taking them over. Shortly thereafter, 97. So being a this is Ghostbusters 2 version because it's got the lights up there and all that, but it's still very, very cool. Now Racing Champions got into taking old castings and making them into whatever they could back around 2002. So I picked up this Frank Bullitt Mustang, which is not very correct at all. It's based off looks like it almost has a Shelby front, a Shelby GT500 front end, but and it has Shelby scoops in the quarters. But being it has the pictures and it's Highland green, and this was all that was available to me at the time I bought it. Now, like I say, Hot Wheels between 2000 and maybe, or about late 90s through 2004, I call it the second coming of Hot Wheels because they had such good stuff. From there on out, not so much. This is what I mean. This was 2002. I mean, the Knight Rider Trans Am in all her glory, and she looks damn near perfect. Nice, everything's, it even says Knight on the back. So Hot Wheels was doing some good things back then. I wish they'd get back to it. Okay, this is something I had since childhood, and it's an old Ertl Airwolf, and they always had to make sure you put the name on the side, Airwolf, so you knew what was going on. You know, poor old Jan Michael Vincent, God rest his soul, and Ernest Borgnine, the supersonic helicopter, so to speak. So, but this is one I bought, and this was later in my teen years, not my teen years, later in my late childhood. So I had this one, and she's dusty from sitting around for over 30 years. But yep, that's Airwolf. Next, we have, this is an LJN from 1975, the Rookies with Hondo, the original Rookies, not the Samuel Jackson stuff, the original one with Robert Urich and all that stuff. And ETC Liquidators, it was 39 cents. I love to see all that stuff. Roadstar SWAT, doesn't have anything on the back, but it's got a metal bottom. It says Spelling Goldberg Productions on the bottom. It's pretty cool. I think that LJN maybe would put out the emergency Dodge rescue van in this variation. I really think they did. As I think I have one that's not in the greatest of condition. Okay. Now this isn't correct, but it is to me. It looks like it is. Ferrari 308 GTS. This is from the late 90s. It is. I got it because it looks just like Thomas Sullivan Magnums on Magnum P.I. So that's why I bought that. Okay, next. I had forgotten I had this because I built one on the channel. And it's very close to this one. It says, but mine has the original decals. This one actually says Los Angeles County Squad 51 Fire Department. And there's the real deal. And that's good stuff there. 1999. Hot Wheels Second Coming. Look at all the detail in the back. That's really cool. As a child of the 70s and 80s, this was an important one. Johnny Gage and Roy DeSoto. Next, we have up something that you would find in the old, like, 5 and dimes. These were put out, Fleetwood put out, they had copyrights to everything, and it was really cheap stuff. This is the Rookies. It's the official police car. Still in the package. TV Superstars. Free rolling wheels with metal axles. Man, you can't get any better than that. Look at detail on that thing. They really put out some shit. They did like the BJ and the Bear. They even did Dukes of Hazzard, and they had Starsky and Hutch and everything. And it was all just cheap dime store stuff that they put out. But the packaging was so cool. I don't even know where. I think my wife got this off eBay for me for a present one year. It's really neat. It's never been punched. $1.29 it cost new. And I don't think there's probably many of those that have survived. Look at the high quality paper decals. Like I say, us kids of the 70s and 80s, that's the kind of stuff they threw at us. Okay, next we have more Johnny Lightning. Speed Racer. That's probably from right around 99, 2000. I was collecting pretty heavy. 97, okay. The Mach 5. And very nice casting of that. I mean, Hot Wheels did their second wind back in the late 70s or the mid 70s, and I'm trying to get a hold of one of those to restore. Next, we have Hollywood on Wheels again. Traveling along, it's a song that we're singing. Come on, get happy. Very nice rendition of the Partridge Family bus. You know, you can almost see Danny Bonaducci in the back there smoking weed. And last of the miscellaneous, well, no, I have two more. Miscellaneous, we have Andy Griffith's police car from Hollywood on Wheels. Old Galaxy. Very nice casting. Very well done. Like I say, right around the turn of the century was a great time for nostalgia and a great time for collecting die-cast. And I think this is the last of, yep. This is the last of my Star Cars collection. Matchbox even got into the game. I bought this at a swap meet or somewhere. Magnum P.I.'s helicopter. and it's not very accurate at all. It's not a Hughes helicopter. I don't know what the hell that is. It's whatever they had laying around that they put it in there. But it had cool box art, you know. It's a star car, TC's helicopter. Yeah, it didn't look anything like that. Okay, let's get into some specialized stuff here. Let's start with an easy one here. Racing Champions and Malibu International, which I think Malibu was doing a lot of licensed stuff. I have a few pieces of that here. They came out about 2006. But this Racing Champions, all right. Looky here, what we got here. It'll be, you got a joint, man? It'd be a lot cooler if you did. It's good old 70s. What Melba Toast is packing here? We got a 1970 Chevelle SS 454 LS6 that the great Matthew McConaughey, which hit in his my favorite character he has played ever in a movie. Gotta love that. So, what a great movie. And we also have the Chevy pickup truck with incorrect wheels from Dazed and Confused. Real rides, they called them. They were a little bit bigger than, they're more like a Jada style size as by today's standards. I mean, it's a very nice looking truck. I just wish they would have got the wheels right on it. Last but not least, what was his name? I can't think of his name. The one dude with Mila Jovana that drove the 70 GTO Judge, the famous one from the movie, in Orbit Orange. And the reason they painted the top is because the top was so bad shape, for whatever reason they had to make it a vinyl top, I think. So I read somewhere there was 2 of them that they used for the movie, I think. They're still around too. So there you have it. Dazed and Confused. Love that movie. Okay, we're gonna duck into the early 80s with Tough Wheels, Kidco, the Cannonball Run. These were pullback cars that were very cheaply made, but like Ertl, they put the name on the front so you knew what it was from. And this was Sammy Davis Jr. and Dean Martins, who got accused of being commies at the 7-Eleven and got pulled over so Burt Reynolds and Dom DeLuise could get away. But look at the art. It's got Jamie Farr, it's got Captain Chaos, it's got Roger Moore. Poor Roger Moore's dead. Dom DeLuise is dead. Jamie Farr's still alive. But I had these originally, and they got broke up and lost. They weren't made of much, but you could pull them back and they go across the floor. And I can't remember this one. This is one of those Mercedes Gullwing door cars. I don't know whether they just threw this in as a filler. I'd have to go back and look. But you know it's from the Cannonball Run because it says it on the door. There we go. Mercedes-Benz C11. They had the Countach, the Ferrari 512, which it wasn't a 512. It was a goddamn 308. Dumbasses. The Chevy Paramedic van. The 935 Turbo, which only had, I thought it was a 911. Maybe it's, I don't know what it is. But it was only had a brief appearance before they got the paramedic van and a highway patrol car. You know, they just threw that stuff in here. Cool thing about this thing is this one's never been punched. And this is last but not least. This was my favorite one out of the bunch when I was a kid. The black Lamborghini Countach LP 500S. And this one's never been punched. But it's so old, the package is falling apart. So, but you know it's from the Cannonball Run there. It says it right there. It says it right there. No matter how two-dimensional it looks, it's from the Cannonball Run. because they said so. So next we're going to go into the 60s. So being a Pontiac fan, we're back to the Hollywood on Wheels things. Got Hollywood on Wheels Monkeemobiles. Now I got this one first. These are very nice castings and I was really impressed with them. This was the first one I found, which didn't have anything on the door, which is very, I think it's some of the early photo shots and even some of the shots, like the picture here, it didn't have it on the door. And then I found this one and I had to get that because it has the correct gold leaf logo on the door. And it was a 67 GTO that, oh, what the hell was his name, that could customize it. Oh, damn it. I can't remember now. Dean Jeffries. Dean Jeffries built this car for the TV show. A couple of them still survive today. And being a GTO with a fake blower and all that stuff, I had to buy it. And I loved it. And last but not least, I don't have an original one, but I do have this reproduction Monkeys. I mean, look at the box. It's awesome. And interior's cut wrong color. But this is probably the original Corgi casting with later wheels. I think these came out, oh hell, they came out in 2001. Yeah, so right around turn of the century. This was really great collecting. Okay, let's break into let's go Starsky and Hutch. Got a lot of that stuff. Well, fair amount. Okay, back around. This is one of the last things that I got. 2004 Joyride. It's a caricature of the Starsky and Hutch Torino. And I think Ertl bought the rcertl.com. Okay, they were doing this stuff. And it's kind of cool, but it was it was Starsky and Hutch, so I got it. I tried to collect everything I could find Starsky and Hutch. So we got that. And back to Johnny Lightning Hollywood on Wheels. I can tell you how old these are getting because they're turning yellow. I have these two. I got, wow, that's Ames. They're long gone. $3.99. So they were very nice rendition of the Starsky and Hutch Torino. And back then, that's the best you could get. And I thought they would look really great. And they were pretty close. Wheels were a little bit different, but can't really complain for back then. And next, I think I think Drew was talking about this. Well, there is the action scene from Starsky and Hutch. American Flashbacks in Time. Shows. Look, that's from the opening credits. And I'm not sure whether that's the wrong Lincoln they put in there, I believe. Yeah, that is the wrong Lincoln. Never really paid that much attention to the Lincoln. But thought that was really cool. You got Starsky getting ready to jump over the hood, and Hutch has got somebody slammed up against the hood of the Lincoln. So that was really cool. Nate, let's see what year, 2001. Yeah, 2001 was a big time for diecast. Now we're going a little bit back further. I have a Starsky and Hutch jigsaw puzzle. This is an original. Don't know where I got it, but I got it. HG Toys, Long Beach, New York. Back when toys were made in the USA, which is cool. Next, we have the Starsky and Hutch board game that I got at a flea market somewhere, and it's complete. Built in Bradley, Springfield, Massachusetts. I mean, if anything, just look at the pictures on it. It's so big, I don't know if I can get everything on there. But, you know, detective game. Okay. We have another reproduction with figures. Let me see if I can get some light in here. There they are. There's Starsky and Hutch standing there. And this is the later model when it was kind of an oddball size. And I can see that even in the package, the white stripe is starting to crow's foot, I guess from it with age, unfortunately, because it's never been out of the pack. But it's a very, very good rendition. It's a very nice rendition of the Corgi original. I was collecting the hell out of shit back then. Okay, last but not least, in the Starsky and Hutch world, I have the big 1/18th Ertls somewhere that my parents have packed away and I can't find them. I have a Starsky and Hutch Torino. I have the 2-lane blacktop 55 Chevy. I got all that shit. But this is really cool. Speedwave by Galoob, Starsky and Hutch, radio controlled. I got this at Carlisle one year. Look at the pictures on it. It's so big I can't. But it runs. I actually run this thing. You know, this one's in all original condition, and it runs. How cool is that? And it's got the correct. I mean, it's got slots on it, which was what I thought was cool. And it basically, you turn this bitch on, and it goes, and it'll go, and it went. And instead of going backwards and turning in reverse and going forwards, this one actually had right and left. But phew, you better make sure it's in a place where you're not going to end up running it into anything. So it's made by Galoob, and I'm guessing 78, 79. I remember when these were in the toy stores, and I got one that was the one that backs up in reverse, and all it would do was go in reverse, and we had to end up taking it back, and I was so devastated. But I got that one later. So real quick, we'll touch on a wee bit. Oh, James Bond. This is a 70s or early 80s Corgi. It doesn't have a date on it, but she is complete, and the man is in the box somewhere, I hope. I bought this at Carlisle and everything worked. There they are, look. It came with 2 men in case you lost one. So we got that. That's original. And last but not least, American Flashbacks in Time from Goldfinger, not Goldmember, with I Like Gold with Austin Powers. This is the James Bond. James Bond. There we have it. 007. And I have one that Opa sent me that I will be restoring, so stay tuned for that. Okay. Now, a little bit more Smokey and the Bandit. This is Real Rides. This was actually a very nice casting. You can't do this anymore. You have the Georgia State flag on the front of the General Lee. I mean, the Dukes. I mean, the Bandit Trans Am. This was actually a very nice casting. It said BAN-ONE on the back and everything. Very, very well detailed Pontiac Firebird. Next, we have Sheriff Buford T. Justice. And this is the original old Ertl that rhymes with turtle casting. That Ertl, I guess Racing Champions bought out Ertl or vice versa. I mean, it's the exact same reboxing from Ertl, but with better tampos. Tampos for the next generation. And it was a little bit different color. It was lighter gold, more of a bronzish gold. Now this is not a Smokey and the Bandit, but this is probably the last car that I bought new, and it's been falling out of this package for oh, 30 some years. I bought this at McCory's, which was a 5 and dime, and I was surprised to see it because by this time, this must have been stuff left over laying around, because by this time the ultra hot birds were all gone. This had been early 90s, and I found this one at McCory's, and I always kept it in the package, although the package is falling apart. It's that old, just like me, but it's a mint one. I don't know why it was there, but I got it. Okay, and what we have now. Oh wow, we have a bent push rod out of my 74 Trans Am. How you like that? Broken push rod, yep. Yeah, I did that myself. Okay, one last thing for the Dukes of Hazzard, which I hear these are bringing a big bucks now since Mr. Burt Reynolds, late great Burt Reynolds, has passed away. Another one from the Corgi series that you do not see very much. These babies are bringing good money, and I mean they actually went to the extent to make correct wheels for it instead of throwing some cheap ass wheels. And there's the Bandit in all his glory. Okay, saving the best for last. Well, nope, a little bit more. Jumping back to the 70s, we'll try to go through these. We got the Charlie's Angels van, and then we have the original Charlie's Angels van. Not that politically correct, feministic, or feminine, or whatever you want to call it, movie that just came out that had to have everything. This was back when all the girls were hot, and it was a correct one, a correct show, and it's even got like pictures, stickers in there with beds and all that stuff. I guess where they would hang out. It was the Charlie's Angels shaggin' wagon. Okay, real quick before we get to my last good stuff. The A-Team. There's the A-Team one. It's got Mr. T. Mr. T. Mr. T. Pitiful. How'd you get so small? So, yeah. And we have 3 of the 2011 models. Yeah. We got one floating around back there somewhere. It's loose, but I must have bought 3 of them at that time. Yep, Hot Wheels was doing good, but after that it slowly demised down into shit. So, I pity the fool that don't like my van. Okay. Let's get into the Dukes of Hazzard. Well, nope, sorry. One last thing. Movie buffs. I actually won this. That is John Milner's Revell Deuce Coupe. And look at here, from American Graffiti. And here, himself is the man himself. Look at there. Well, okay, there you go. Yep, he fits just like that. And you know what's cool about this is there is Paulie Matt autographed this, and what's her name? Shoot, I can't think of her name. Brain farting big time. The girl that rode in the car with him. And here's him signing it. Mackenzie Phillips, there you go. And here's her signing it. So I won this at a car show at the Weinberg Center, which they were actually showing. It's an old theater that shows. They had a car show, and I took my 74 Trans Am there. It was in the parking deck, and they had the original 55 Chevy from the show, which was also the 2-lane blacktop car there. And they had Bo Hopkins there. and they had Candy Clark there signing autographs. So there's that. Now on to the good stuff, or the great stuff. I mean, that's all good stuff before. Now, Central Tractor Farm and Family Centers like Tractor Supply, they're long out of business, but they would carry a lot of Racing Champions Ertl stuff. And back, 1997, they came out with these little itty bitty cars. There's Cooter's tow truck, and it'd have a scene behind it, just like the rest of them. And I tried to find as many of these as I possibly could. But what's it? And I got Daisy's Plymouth, and I got the infamous General Lee, and we got the black General Lee. So I'm glad I hung on to those, because these are bringing a nice premium on anything that Dukes of Hazzard has gone through the roof. I was glad I was a fan from day one to collect this stuff. Now, we also have Ertl, at the same time as those came out, was reissuing the cars. So I have the reissued 97 Hazzard County Boss Hog, and of course we have the Hazzard County Pontiac Bonneville, which they did not drive, and the good old General Lee. There she is. She's a nice original. No General Lee left behind. That's what I like to say when I find old toy ones that are broken. And here's two more, and they actually, and this is a little bit later, they, after I guess Racing Champions bought out Ertl, and they started putting tan interiors in these General Lees. And Kmart, KB Toys, both non-existent stores anymore. Jesus, man, what happened to the world? Okay, I know this video is running a little bit long, but bear with me. Auto World is big into, slot cars. These are the, and I bought some slot cars. It's a dirty version of, I'll just do this. Dirty version of Roscoe's, and it's a Plymouth Fury, just like, or whatever it is, just like it's supposed to be. But it's dirty, like dusty, like it would be going around. And then we have the General Lee itself. So glad to have that. Then we have a clean version and a dirty version of Daisy's Jeep. And I did play with these for a little while on a slot car track, and they were fun to run. But being the way they are now with politically correctness, that is a no-no, so they say. I don't believe that shit. But to me, it's just my favorite childhood car show, and can't even buy new shit now from it. Pisses me off. Okay, I did find one of my big ones. This is put in the box backwards. So let's open it up. This is this is over $100 toy now, which I think I paid 20 bucks for. Unbelievable. Let me turn it around. Sorry folks, I didn't realize it was in the box backwards. I must have looked at it. I know why it was. I took it to get signed and I never did. Look at that. 1/18 Ertl American Muscle with the wrong colored interior, black interior, and it says, seeing it doesn't even have. But anyways, that's my General Lee. It's from, they came out with one that was a little bit more correct, but I obviously was going to Duke's Fest because I had those stuck in there, and this was in backwards, and I guess I never got it signed, unfortunately, because I think that was the year that Roscoe was there before he died, and Bo Duke was there, but I never got to meet any of them. I just got to see him because the lines were so damn long. And maybe one day I'll meet John Schneider and Tom Wopat, but now I got my memories, and I watch John Schneider weekly on YouTube doing his thing down in Louisiana. But there's my, I have a whole series of these in this size. I have 2-lane blacktop car. I have a whole bunch of shit. I gotta find it, and when I find it, I'll showcase it. Get back to the get back to the Dukes of Hazzard. These were probably some of the last stuff that I found, and it's very good stuff. Johnny Lightning did Daisy's Jeep, beautiful picture of Catherine Bach, and they did the General Lee. And what year was this? It was 2006, and yep, that was the last big. Well, he had a couple more years left that you could find this good stuff, but thanks to political correctness and liberals, can't buy this stuff new, and the price on the originals have gone through the roof. Okay, last 3 pieces, promise. This here is the General Lee that I built back over 20 years ago, and this was one of the original kits. And the way you, and I gotta glue the push bar back on it, but the way you can tell is the back window. It's got the Charger 500 window in it, and you know, I even back then, this is probably 20 years ago, did CNH 320 on the tag. You know, very, very nice. And I think this is the one that had the wrong engine in it too. Yep, had a 426 Hemi in it, and I put plug wires on it and all that. Very straight up model. Had the correct roll bar for Lee 1, 2, and 3, and we will be touching on that in the near future, and I think you will enjoy that. But this is my General Lee that I built, and it turned out very well, and I'm glad I didn't lose that, because that was, I don't build many models. I build die-cast models, but I don't do those anymore. Okay, now we're last 2 pieces that I have today, and 124th Ertl. Well, this is a Joyride. Can't get these anymore, and it has the correct color interior. And this says to George, hey, from Cooter, Ben Jones, right, autographed right on it, and I will cherish this to the rest of my life. He was such a stand-up gentleman when I met him, and I can't express how kind he was. And he would sit there and talk to you and try to tell you answer your questions. Of course, he was a congressman though, so that they know how to do that. But God, what a great guy! I met him at Duke's Fest when he had Cooters in Sperryville, Virginia. Now, last piece I got. Now, this one is a little bit older, 2000. I got this at Carlisle, and it has black interior, but it's not signed by Bo and Luke, unfortunately. But it's signed by Byron Cherry, which was Coy, and Christopher Mayer, which was Vance. They were the imposters. But at the time, they were signing autographs at Carlisle swap meet, and I waited in line, got their autographs, and to George, God bless Byron Cherry, he's dead now. To George, Coy, Byron Cherry. So I will keep these forever. You know, I did have to watch, you know, the Coy and Vance years, but you know, didn't like it, but it was kind of nostalgic to meet them. It was cool. So, well, there you have it. This video's run 39 minutes. I hope you stuck with me till the end. Sorry that I did not have anything more for you this week, but promise you in future weeks you will appreciate it. So have a good weekend, and we'll catch you on the next.